Good morning, I'm Dallas Seeley, founder and owner of the Seeley Group, and this...
My name is Brady Mathews. I'm founder and owner of Sojourn Design House.
And you know what he also designed? He designed this $20 million masterpiece on Lake Austin. I'm so excited and I'm honored to be here with you. We're gonna take an in-depth deep dive. And what I wanna point out is this guy right here spent over 3 years of putting his heart, his soul, his blood, his sweat, and tears into every single square inch of this amazing estate, making it into what is today. Are you guys excited? I know I am. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. All right, Brady, so we're sitting here in the formal barn. It's directly across from my favorite spot in the entire home, the former wine cellar. But a couple questions the viewers at home want to know. First off, how did this project come about?
This was an interesting one, and it actually happens more often than not, where I had a good friend that was a realtor, been working with these clients here in Austin for 10 years on their homes, and they were desperately looking for a new property. Showed them homes all over. They weren't landing on any of them. They also didn't really want to take on a big project. So he invited me because he said, come see this house with these clients. See if you can help them see past what currently is and what it could be. And so I met them here, actually met them on the street right off the bat. The homeowner said, I do not want this house. I don't like this house. And I said, well, let's walk it first and let's.
Yeah, we're here.
Let's see. And getting to know them and knowing they were from Southern California, had lived in Santa Barbara, I quickly saw how this house had the right type of bones that it could turn into something that they were looking for, which was a little bit more of a modern Spanish colonial hacienda style house, but reinvented in a little bit more of an updated modern way. So we spent about an hour walking the house, explaining all the different things that we could do and what I saw and how it could transform into something that they would really love. And then we walked out to the edge of the street and she said, all right, let's make an offer. And they closed on it in a couple weeks. And then we embarked on a 3-year complete renovation of the house.
Okay, so let's pause right there. In the course of just maybe an hour and a half, you met the clients for the first time. You walk through the home, and it sounds like in the beginning, your job was to really peel back the pages and really paint the picture of the vision of what was possible. And they started on one end of the pendulum where we are not looking for a rehab. We do not like this house, to an hour and a half later after walking it with you, let's put it under contract.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So you guys put under contract, and obviously something of this magnitude, again, we're here at the masterpiece on Lake Austin. It's not a short endeavor, right? So walk us through the steps of setting expectations, really laying everything out, really all the details that is really your lane of expertise.
Mm-hmm. This was an ideal scenario because we were connected before anyone else in the construction team had been found, which I love because ultimately I'm here to represent the clients and in their best interests and ensure that what is most important to them is going to be executed. And that means making sure that that happens with all the very many people that are involved with a project like this. I'm really here just as their guide, to get them through what can be a very long and challenging process. So I was able to then, knowing the kind of the style of the house that we wanted to take it to, then we met with builders together and also architects together. So we made those decisions collectively, which always works out great because I'm usually the one working primarily with them on my client's behalf. So we built an amazing team all together from the very beginning, which I think set us up for huge success because it was very clear of the expectations required of each individual party that we brought on board. And so it was very harmonious right from the start with the team.
Okay, so tell us who you ultimately chose as the architect, as the builder, and then after those final decisions were made, what were really the next steps in the process?
So we worked with Foursquare Builders, who is one of the best builders in Austin. I had worked with them previously on several projects, so I had good trust and rapport with them and their team, and they tackled and handled everything about this job beautifully. And we worked with System D Architecture, who really helped from overseeing plan submitting for permitting, working with the city, navigating all of the code logistics of this particular road that we're on. So that was kind of their zone of genius of getting us to this point. And then me and my team did all the interior and exterior architecture revisions, drawings, and then all of the selections for materials, lighting, finishes, plumbing, so on.
So now, right, the initial process are just getting done. We're setting the stage, right? We're walking you through the journey. And now, as I like to say, Brady really gets to dive in and get his hands dirty. So talk us about the full scope of the work, what you really got the green light to do your thing. Talk to us about really having fun, with the clients and selections and all the things, and really walk us through the process of all the finish out selections for this beautiful home.
Yeah, renovations are interesting because you always start with a certain scope in mind. And then as you really start diving into it and realizing, okay, well, if we change this, then that also impacts this. And it usually snowballs into something much larger than you originally anticipated. But I set the stage for that. Now, we went into it saying, we're going to gather all these ideas for this whole house. It's like panning for gold. We're going to take a huge scoop of all these things, and then we're going to sift. And we're going to sift out the options. We'll price things out. We'll look at other solutions. And ultimately, we're going to end up with gems is the goal. But it's knowing that process going into it of, it's kind of like doing surgery and you don't know what the ailment necessarily is until you get in there and open it up. And so that is something that just always comes along with that. So it's important to me that clients and I have agreements when we're going into a project and a mutual understanding of things are going to come up. There's going to be delays. Stuff is going to take longer than we thought. Stuff will have to be redone.
Question on that. What was the original kind of forecasted renovation budget, and where did you guys end up when it was all said and done?
Well, when we first started, there was no discussion of changing the exterior of the house at all. It was just leaving the exterior and maybe changing some light things, redoing cabinetry. There was a lot of very heavy woodwork in the house. It felt dated. And so once we got addressing the inside, then the homeowners quickly realized this is not going, the exterior of the house is not going to support what we're doing on the inside. And it's not going to embody what you experience on the inside of the house. So then that naturally led to, okay, well, let's just look at the outside. If we were to change it, what would we do? Colors we would change, stone we would change materials on the house at all. And so it was kind of a natural organic development of the scope got larger and larger, but that also I think was happening too because they were getting more and more excited and seeing what the house could become. And so a lot of times and that's what's nice when you work with a builder that can do a design build, meaning we're designing and also revising as we're going along through the process. And some people are not used to that, and some builders don't like to do that. But on a project of this scale and scope, you do need to be flexible and make changes as you go along.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's a 3-year labor of love. Kind of what are your top 3 to 5 either favorite highlights, or whether for the clients or yourself looking back, what are a few of the learning lessons that you learned from this project?
Highlights, I love renovations. They are my very favorite. because I think there is something so magical about taking a space that was intentionally designed for one purpose and transforming it into something that has completely new energy and a completely new life. Like, that's magic to me. And so when I can be creative with playing with the space planning and looking at, with the original house, we looked at what spaces are underutilized, where is there wasted space, where could we take some of that space and turn it into something different. So for example, this bar did not exist previously. There was a coat closet, and then this was a hallway from the entrance over into here. And it felt strange. It felt disjointed from the entry. It felt like wasted space. So, enclosing this and turning it into this, little jewel box of a bar, and turning in this side of the house kind of into an entertainment wing, and across in the wine cellar, that space also did not exist. That was all just kind of dead space in the garage.
Wow.
So we ate into the garage to use that for something else, that now these two serve each other really well.
Yeah.
So from an interior architecture standpoint, I really love that. That lights me up a lot. Seeing how we made the space more functional.
Yeah.
Added so much more value by bringing in other incredible amenities into the house. And I would say then my other favorite thing is the location of this house is incredible. Living on Lake Austin is unlike anywhere I've ever experienced. And we made sure that every room in the house had incredible views of the water, direct access outside. So there's you get an incredible feeling of indoor-outdoor living in this house, and everywhere you look is a beautiful view, while still feeling incredibly private, which is hard to do.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm chomping at the bit to see these views and take an in-depth tour with you of the masterpiece on Lake Austin. I know the viewers at home are chomping at the bit. You mind if we go take a
Let's do it.
little peek? Here we go. So, Brady, you walk into the formal entry of this 8,000 square foot masterpiece, and it just absolutely takes your breath away, right? From the dual cantilever doors to the wall-to-ceiling glass to the straight line of sight of Lake Austin. It's got all the things, but we just talked about and saw before photos of what it was before. Walk us through your vision to take it from that to this.
Yeah, the original approach and entry was very underwhelming. It definitely didn't maximize the view, which is the most stunning thing about this property. So we bumped the ceiling height up significantly and added all of these windows so that when you arrive at this house, you have this incredible moment of experiencing the beautiful landscaping in the front to the infinity edge pool and straight out to the lake. We wanted to have this moment where you could just soak in this incredible view and really feel like you were in an atrium. We wanted this to feel like an extension of the outside. So we wrapped the exterior stone into here, to this beautiful apparatus light fixture in the space, and it becomes an amazing initial spot to just stop and take in the view before you embark in the rest of the house.
Absolutely stunning. All right, so as soon as you take a right from the grand foyer, you're immediately greeted by this over-the-top, expansive, just massive hallway. And Brady, I want you to talk about what you did here, but I am getting Southern California, that classic modern Santa Barbara style, just was well done to really transform you into the space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we lovingly refer to this as the gallery. It's an amazing opportunity right when you come off the entry with the repetition in the architecture. Now, when we started, there was no consistent language, I like to say, in the architecture. There were a lot of odd things that didn't make sense or match. We had arches at different heights. We had arches at different widths. Some didn't line up with one another. So we went through all of the architecture and looked at how can we make this as harmonious, symmetrical, balanced, and take out whatever wasn't necessary. So the details of the house became much more simplistic so that the natural materials could really shine. So we removed any of the baseboard, and we have this beautiful floating reveal along the base of the floor, which is super hard to achieve, especially on a renovation. We added consistency with the arches. We wanted the home to feel modern, but never cold. And so all the materials we use, from the white oak to black American walnut, you're surrounded by natural materials and textures everywhere. So even if the form and the architecture feels minimal, it still has a lot of warmth from all of the natural elements.
All right, so you are walking into the grand living, the grand family, and all I've got to say is, wow, we've got 35, maybe 40-foot kind of coffered arch ceilings. We've got the full-blown sliders open up, bringing in all the glory of Lake Austin. And so, Brady, really walk us through what you took it from to what we are looking at today.
There was a lot of heavy woodwork. The ceiling was still wood, but it was in a much darker, heavy wood. There was dark, heavy wood, built-ins all over, a very dark, heavy fireplace. So in an effort to lighten things up, we obviously replaced everything with just a natural sealed white oak floor that we also matched on the ceiling. So even with this ceiling height, this space still feels warm and intimate with the wood ceiling on it. And then again, in an effort to blend the inside and out, we wrapped the exterior stone into the inside of this great room so that when all the doors are open, this room just feels like an extension of the outdoor living space as well. We provided some very clever hidden storage options for them here in case they wanted to have any type of media, a hidden coat closet, and then reimagined the fireplace with the beautiful travertine surround and Venetian plaster hood.
Hand scraped Venetian plaster all the way up. So right off the formal living, we've got the heart of the home. We've got this oversized, over the top, gorgeous, gorgeous kitchen. And there is just eye candy for days. Again, put that above us, eye candy for days. So Brady, walk us through all the beautiful things you did here in the heart of the home.
I absolutely love this kitchen. So this actually became about 3 feet larger than it originally was. We can see the range behind us. That used to just be dead excess space into a hallway. So we actually pushed this back further to expand the kitchen by another 3 feet. And with the goal of entertaining, ease of people moving around, being able to have people in here while you're cooking. This is a chef entertainer's dream kitchen.
Yeah, most luxury homes you walk into that have the dual islands, you got maybe 3 to 4 feet, like y'all, full wingspan right here on the space between the islands.
Yeah, we wanted plenty of flow so that the kitchen never felt congested. If people were cooking, if it was catered and you had something set up in here. So the dual islands are nice. This gives us a little bit more of, you can sit, you can eat here, you can socialize here. This is a little bit more of a workhorse island. We did a tougher Caesar stone on here, integrated work sink there to make this a little bit more of a work prep area.
So talk to us about this gorgeous stone on sort of the front runner and what I like to call the Brady Mathews special on the full-blown sink detail with the stone continuous.
We love an integrated sink, especially when the stone is so beautiful. So this is a Mont Blanc quartzite. Love quartzite in a kitchen. It's super strong and durable. You don't have the etching or scratching issues like you do with a marble, but there's such incredible variety in quartzite. And this was one we found that really marries all of the tones and colors of the house. And so instead of your eye stopping at a large stainless steel sink, we decided to integrate the stone just so that your eye kind of flows through the space a little bit more. It really showcases the veining, the beautiful nature of it. We did this unique little chamfer on the edge, gave you an area to cut or prepare fruit or food that's easy access, wide sink. And then instead of just a traditional waterfall, we just did a little bit of an edge reveal on the side for a little bit
just
of the extra detail. Yeah.
And then you've got the same Mont Blanc on that back stone. Looks like you've got a 3-inch lip at the bottom right here.
Yep, so we have the Mont Blanc kind of around the perimeter of the room. We have a 60-inch Wolf here, all custom cabinetry, deep drawers for all the pots, pans. Literally every single thing was considered in this kitchen, from where the cutlery would go, where your serving things would go, ease of cooking and having everything readily available.
So you've got the secondary vegetable sink here. You've got the classic 6-burner, the classic red knob Wolf range. You've got the custom vent hood with that matching Venetian hand scraped plaster as the fireplace. As we continue to my left, your right, you've got the Wolf microwave and steam oven below. You've got the same Mont Blanc. You've got these 48-inch ranges, fridge and freezer right here to my left.
2 3-foot, yeah, 3-foot fridge and freezer.
And then everyone's favorite, you've got the built-in Mila espresso coffee maker from Italy.
Yeah, so we gave a good kind of appliance garage on either side that can, you can put toaster, blender, things easily accessible. And then again, for the goal of simplicity and integration in this house, everything can seamlessly close. If you're entertaining or having people over and you want just the simplicity of this beautiful cabinetry.
Another world-class Brady Mathews special. So we are here behind the formal kitchen, and we have what I like to call the chef's kiss. We've got the formal chef's kitchen. Brady, talk to us about everything you did in this space.
So we wanted to, again, maximize unused space. This was a hallway, and turn it into a true proper scullery Butler's pantry. So we have almost to the ceiling storage here, as well as overhead. We have 2 sub-zero refrigerator freezer drawers here as well, larger drawers for entertaining type of things. Again, thinking through how you would use this house ideally, this is a perfect place to stage catering. There's pocket doors on either side, so you can have some level of privacy. It's directly off of the main garage, which is nice for bringing things in. But again, also, if you're having any type of event, people where they're going to be staffed or stationed, this works really, really well in supporting the kitchen, but then just the whole house from an entertainment standpoint.
And I love the matching Mont Blanc countertops and backsplash as well. Yeah. So Brady, we're here in the formal bar area overlooking the lounge dining and, again, my favorite, the wine cellar. But all I've got to say is, wow, if you look at the before and after pictures, it is night and day difference would be an understatement, from the gorgeous hand-selected stone to the hand-scraped Venetian plaster on the ceiling to the backlit mirror and all the things. Brady, just walk us through not just the selection finish outs, but your vision of turning it into what we just looked at before to what we're looking at.
Well, like I said, this is one of my favorite spaces of the house. I like to, when I'm walking through the architecture, I'm always thinking, what is the user experience going to feel like, right? Every time they turn a corner, every time they walk into a space, what is the view? How do they naturally want to move through the space? And this house originally, because this was a hallway and a closet, you didn't really have that moment coming from the entry. And so I wanted, when people got pulled into this hallway, to turn and see this kind of hidden enclosed jewel box here. So this arch we did to repeat the arch across from it, and again create some consistency and balance. And the way that it beautifully envelops this space is almost like it was unearthed and found. So we wanted to lean a little dark and heavier and moodier in this space over here. So we went with much richer, heavier materials. Again, a quartzite that is beautiful and a wonderful workhorse in this space. And then this is a beautiful veneered black American walnut that we wrapped this space in, just to make it this little sexy surprise when you came over into this space that turns into a big entertaining area.
So we're overlooking what I can envision as the entertainer's lounge, whether you've got a piano and a secondary space of 4 chairs and a rug, or you really dress it up with a couple couches and chairs. Just the perfect invitation for your guests to come and relax, enjoy a a cocktail before the night begins. I'd love, if you're open to it, to go that direction and talk about the wine room next. So Brady, in between the jewel box bar and the wine cellar behind us, you really have got two beautiful open spaces that can be really a blank space. How do you envision this being used on the estate?
Well, the nice thing about this is there's so much flexibility for whoever buys this house based on how they live. We really wanted to make sure that these spaces all flowed together from a similar purpose and also felt easily connected to the main great room and kitchen over here. So this could be an incredible oversized dining room if that was important to somebody to have a table that could seat up to 12, 14 people. This could be a beautiful lounge to entertain in with a piano, seating adjacent to a bar. You could have a tasting experience over here off of the wine with, 4 comfortable club chairs and a table, or this could be an amazing game table. So there's a lot of flexibility in these spaces, and the room sizes are large enough and their proximity and flow to these other spaces are large enough that, this space can really double the square footage of your great room if you wanted to use it for that purpose, or a dining room. It's really open and flexible for the needs of whoever wants it.
Absolutely, well done. So earlier you called the bar the jewel box. I have to respectfully disagree. This space is where my heart is at. We've got this incredibly done 600 bottle plus wine cellar. And before we talk about the finish outs, Brady, question, was this space even here before?
No, so the wall actually ended where the door currently is. And this space previously was a huge oversized mechanic room that was in the garage and just a lot of unwasted garage space. So we looked at how much of this we could take in to, again, create a space that did not exist here before.
So walk us through, you're like, hey, I see a lot of wasted space in the garage. Why does this grand estate, this masterpiece on Lake Austin, not have a wine cellar? So we snag the square footage. Walk us through your vision and the process of creating all the finish outs we see today.
So to keep a cellar-like feel, again, we wanted to bring a stone in here. So this is, again, the stone we see back here is the same stone that you find on the exterior of the house. We're repeating some of the woodwork, so the same dark woodwork that is in the bar is also brought into here. So the two entertaining zones feel cohesive. And then again, wrapped it in a plaster with all the lighting. And we wanted it large enough that you could have a small table in here. You come in with a few people, be able to open up some bottles, and it's a space that you could, truly be in and enjoy, not just store your wine in. So we gave a lot of storage, did these custom angled bottle shelves, which are beautiful, all individually cut out of black American walnut.
So I've been in a lot of wine cellars in my day. I've got hand scraped Venetian plaster on the top. You've got the matching quartzite of the bar that's wrapping up the sides and even the ceiling. We've got this beautiful woodwork, not just for your 750s, but it's a great size for magnums as well, right? You've got your custom bar with your soft closed doors. What I want to point out, a couple details. You really did a great job on the wraparound ceiling for the placement to put kind of your show boxes from your 100 acre to your Harlan and all the things. And then to me, the number one small detail that was nailed was actually the tone and the amount of lighting of all the down and up lighting for the shelving. Really just immediately takes me to those high-end Napa wine estates that I've been over the years.
Yeah, well, in these spaces, they're so sensory driven. So, the temperature, the tone of the lighting, the smell, it all adds to the experience that you're gonna have in this space.
So as you take a left off the grand foyer, we are here in the primary wing, and it is large, it is in charge. And Brady, there's a lot going on. Before we take them through a video tour, talk about all the different spaces and things going on in this wing.
So because this is a single story floor plan, it's actually nice that you have some of the more private spaces that are separate from like your public entertaining guest spaces. So we did these wood surround kind of vestibules to exit off of here into a little bit more intimate side of the house. So we have a secondary primary bathroom over here, which is great because you essentially have one on either side of the house. There's an amazing office, study, den, an additional bedroom with an ensuite bathroom, and then the primary suite and bathroom.
So you walk in, first to your left, you have another powder bathroom. Across from the powder bath, you have your formal office with gorgeous, gorgeous views of Lake Austin. To the far back left, you have another bedroom area that can be used for a nursery, that kind of right off the primary workout zone that a lot of people like. And then I'm excited to take you guys through the primary suite itself with those amazing Lake Austin views. So we're in the formal study right off the primary wing, and we've got these line of sight, beautiful Lake Austin views. We've got the doors wide open. I can hear the birds chirping. But Brady, talk to us about this space and what you've done to make it in what is today.
Yeah, so again, you talk about the view. This room did not used to have direct access. There were just some windows here. And so again, we wanted to make sure everybody could enjoy the outside from in here. And we were really thinking of this space for many different reasons. This could be an incredible den. It could be an amazing office. It could be a wonderful podcast recording studio. It could be a nursery even. So there's a lot of use. We wanted to give enough storage that could function for potentially any of those needs. Beautiful integrated lighting in here. A soft filled Jeffrey's grass cloth, or a flannel. It's actually a flannel wallpaper back here. So we wanted to warm it up, cozy it up, but a lot of versatility for what this space could be. We considered being able to have power on the floor for any equipment or anything you'd have on the desktop too.
Same matching European white oak. We've got the matching white oak on the beams above. Just really spot on. Every detail was nailed. So we're here in the primary suite, and it is not only massive, but the finish outs were just nailed, from the lighting above to the Venetian plaster above the fireplace, the stone selections of the fireplace, and y'all check out the view behind me of Lake Austin. So Brady, walk us through what you did here.
Yeah, again, the view was the main thing we wanted to take advantage of. So it had very small windows in here previously. We wanted to make that as expansive as possible. And then again, the size, the space is divided up really nicely from an area for sleeping. And then you have this whole other additional area over here just to relax and lounge here in your primary suite.
So we're here in the formal primary bathroom, and there is a lot going on. There's eye candy for days. I see the Taj Mahal, the integrated sinks. We've got the similar stone on the floor. We've got this oversized soaking tub with the marble ledge, steam shower, formal closet right behind us. There's a lot. So Brady, walk us through all the upgrades and details that you changed in this space.
Luckily, when we started working with this, I mean, the amount of space is incredible for a bathroom. It was really editing a lot of the architecture that wasn't supporting the space, and bringing the consistent themes that we had from the rest of the house in here. So you'll see some repetition in the materials. Like you said, the beautiful Taj that the whole shower is wrapped in, and you have the dual sinks with a lot of storage. There's a vanity space that we have, and then we also wanted to integrate kind of this beverage center in here. So we have refrigerator drawers. You can have your morning coffee and espresso, bottle of wine to open at the end of the night for your tub. Just gives this another added little amenity for getting ready in the morning. And then again, maximizing the beautiful views outside while still retaining all the privacy that you need.
Perfect. Brady, I do want to highlight the, 5-star penthouse kind of suite vibes going on with these two details. Walk us through this oversized tub ledge, and then I want to show the viewers at home this incredible steam shower that you did behind you.
Yeah, so like I said, I think it's important that certain moments in the house are framed and built out in a way that you can stop and enjoy them. So that's what we wanted to have happen here with the tub, with this beautiful Calcutta ledge that the tub can sit on. Very, very simple, minimal plumbing, and then this beautiful black American walnut threshold that essentially wraps this whole space.
My favorite, if you guys follow me, and Brady, I want you to walk us through what you did here, is we got the Venetian plaster on the ceiling. We've got the Taj Mahal. You've got this kind of car wash set up. What is going on? You've got backlighting up top right there. What is going on here?
Yeah, so we really wanted you to have a true 5-star spa experience in this bathroom. So that first led to just enveloping the whole room in this beautiful Taj Mahal stone. This is a beautiful Italian brand of plumbing called Cea, and they have also incredible, they're called water hydrotherapy. So we have the bench here that you have different jets that are for different pressure points on your shoulder, for head and scalp massaging, steam. It's a full steam shower. We added an additional shower head. There was just one in here previously. So truly a spa quality shower experience.
Incredible. So right off the formal primary bathroom, we've got this in-charge formal primary closet. And again, no detail left untouched, from the washer and dryer to the matching oak cabinetry to what I love is you have this private entrance off of the auto gallery. But Brady, walk us through the vision and how you turned it into what we're looking at now.
Yeah, we wanted to keep the simplicity and the feeling of integration that the rest of the house has. We're dealing with a kind of like a long galley style closet. And so in an effort for it not to feel overly busy or chaotic, we decided to do doors on everything that go to the ceiling. It really gives a great illusion of the height of the room. And then it allows you ample storage. It's great to have a whole additional washer and dryer and like an additional utility room here in your closet where you could store your luggage, you could store ski gear, you could store a lot of things that you would just easily need for packing and leaving. And then, yeah, there were windows here previously that was nice, bringing natural light in. But we thought having this direct access to the auto gallery is a nice ease of coming to and from.
Absolutely off the charts. So as we come down the secondary wing on the opposite side of the house from the primary, the first stop is going to be this over-the-top room. And man, y'all, the before and afters are wild. Might be some of the best in the whole estate. But Brady, walk us through not only everything you did, but what you envision that this space can be used for.
So this was a bedroom for a teenager, which you kind of understood with the bizarre ladder and loft, and that all would be very fun, I think, up to a certain age, but it was not very practical at all. It's a huge room with a massive loft style space. So we wanted that to be fully functional for many different purposes. I mean, this would be an incredible guest room that you could really create a cool hotel suite experience like with the loft. We intentionally ran plumbing and electrical up there so you could easily put in a wet bar, a little type of a kitchenette. This could function beautifully if you had any type of like a live-in nanny or au pair, that they could have their own individual space with those needs. And it's more than just a bedroom. Or someone's gonna love having this as their bedroom because it's very unique. We have incredible views up from the loft. And then like you saw in the before photos, it was very closed off to the outside. Yeah. And so we took these doors all the way up, made them all open, gave it its own terrace off of here. So really it's one of the most unique, interesting rooms in the house that could be so many things.
I mean, I have no problem saying I want to be the nanny here.
Yeah.
Be the nanny.
Yeah.
So directly across from that oversized loft room, we'll call it the nanny room. It's my room, right? We're here in the formal movie room, and Brady, talk to us about how you completely redid this space into what it is today.
Yeah, this space didn't really quite have a purpose when we first walked the house. There was an odd set of double doors over here. There were some strange high windows. I think they maybe used it as like a secondary media type space. these homeowners were big movie buffs, and so we wanted to give them a room that was worthy of that. So we worked with an incredible AV company, incredible sound engineers to make this room completely soundproof. These are all custom specialty wrapped acoustic panels on the walls. All of the speakers are hidden amongst all of those. Integrated lighting. We made sure that there's power in the floors, in all the spaces, so that you could have any type of automated furniture in here and just give it a moody, sexy room to come enjoy whatever you want to watch.
Now, the final question in the space, are you choosing Braveheart or Top Gun?
Oh,
Here. I'm going Braveheart.
Yeah,
Braveheart, yeah, for sure. So catty corner from the formal movie room, we have this secondary bedroom, which I just love. You have perfectly envisioned this in-home gym from the flooring to the sink. It's got its own fan, its own terrace. So Brady, talk to us about what it was once before and what we're looking at today.
yeah, like you said, it was a bedroom, and it was not a functional bedroom at all. It was far too small. There wasn't enough storage, and we wanted to think of a space that would have a greater impact for the family. So the idea of creating a wellness room for them was the key. So we wanted, again, to keep similarly to their bathroom, bringing in these like spa-like sanctuary moments here in their house. So we've integrated this, that they have refrigerator drawers for waters, towels. There's a trash can in here. We thought of everything from TVs for tonals, a Peloton, yoga mats, a massage table in here, whatever you're envisioning for a wellness space. This gives you great access, again, to outside as well. So coming straight in from the lake or going to take a swim in the pool after working out, you really just thought about how you would live in this in the most optimal way.
Optimal fitness, optimal health. Well done, sir. So down at the end of the hall of the secondary wing, we have the formal guest suite. Not only does it have its own parking, its own entrance, its own ensuite bath, but as you can see, we're on Lake Austin. You've got views, you got terrace, you got vibes, you got all the things. Brady, we have more eye candy, from the grass weave wallpaper to the matching white oak on the ceilings. What was the evolution of this formal guest suite?
Yeah, we were struggling a little bit with the scale and proportion of it, because it's a really large room, and we wanted this space to feel different than some of the other bedrooms in the house, but also warm it up and lean a little bit into that coastal California aesthetic that was driving a lot of the decisions that we made here. So in an effort to make this really tall space feel much more cozy, the grass cloth wallpaper helps by adding some texture. And then we decided to take the wood and put it on the ceiling. And then another mid-construction thing we kind of realized and decided was we wanted to be able to hide all of the shades, all the blackout drapes that you would have in here. So that led to the decision to make this return down. And now that gives us a pocket behind it that we can hide all of that integrated shade and drapery into this space. So again, we talked about decisions often, evolve while you're designing and going about the project. But this, as far as size for a guest suite, is perfect. You have ample closet space. You have room enough for a desk, a television, additional seating, and then your own covered terrace right off.
Devil's in the details. If I lost the job as the nanny, maybe I can be the funny guest that never leaves.
There you go.
So we've got a formal oversized 3-car garage, and as you walk into the masterpiece of this home, we've got this beautiful floral powder to my right, your left, and then Brady, we have one of the largest utility rooms I have seen today, complete with its own custom built-in Sub-Zero fridge and freezer with the matching panels. Talk about everything you did in this space.
Yeah, so again, we thought about this from every possible kind of lifestyle perspective, entertaining perspective. So being able to come directly off of the garage and have your utility room, your Butler pantry, your kitchen. Again, we thought through this space for staging for any type of an event, catering, excess overflow, a coat room, I mean, however you want to entertain, but the ease of access from all of these points is what makes this a great like initial landing coming off of the garage.
Just really well done all around. So we are on the back terrace, and it is just wow. It is what every Texan dreams of. We're in the heart of Austin. We're on Lake Austin. We're one of the most expensive zip codes, not only in all of Central Texas, but the entire country. And this is where you want to live. So Brady, talk to us with this whole space behind us, from the landscaping to the design, to the terrace, to the pool, and everything between, being so monumental to really this estate hitting the mark. What was it before, and what improvements did you do to bring it to today's vision?
Similarly to inside, there was a lot of unnecessary, I would say, detail that was happening on the exterior of the house, from architecture, stone, moldings, a very ornate swimming pool. I mean, there were a lot of, it was the opposite from what we were going for a serene, integrated into nature, this very calming, a place that your nervous system comes and rests, and that you feel super content being surrounded by nature. And the architecture is really just there as the backdrop to support that. So we wanted to simplify a lot of the space. We did some key structural things in re-engineering, pushing this column off to the side so that from the entry you had this uninterrupted view straight out to the lake. That column used to be about 6 feet over here. And so we thought of every single thing you would experience from approaching the house, coming in through the entry vestibule, coming out here, down to picking a color of the plaster for the pool so that it matched the lake. So you have this seamless integration with the water there. And it just, when the landscape and the architecture melds and blends with the environment that it's in, it just feels so much better.
It's all in alignment. Just really well done all around. So with an 8,000 square foot estate, especially one that hinges around the beauty of Lake Austin, there's a lot going on in the backyard. We're gonna slightly break it up in different spaces. We're out here at the outdoor chef's kitchen, and Brady, you did not miss a single box that was checked. What all did you accompany into the space?
So we have an amazing Memphis smoker. We have a Wolf grill. We have probably one of the most heavy duty industrial ventilation hoods that I've used on a project, which is great. We have an integrated sink out here and counter. So again, ease from the kitchen inside to entertaining. These spaces really do flow beautifully together. And then this is also supporting this massive outdoor terrace that is, almost larger than what you have inside. So this is literally just a secondary living space out here, dining space. There's so much covered terrace space, which is incredible. There's a lot of ease for being able to add screens to enclose any of these areas. We have full audio throughout all of the exterior as well. So it'll be able to hold so many people in a nice way. You'd be able to entertain beautifully over here, and you have all these different zones of interest near the pool, down near the fire pit area, down by the boat dock. So for outdoor living and entertaining, which is why you live in Austin, Texas and live on the water, it is so well positioned to provide more than enough space for what anybody needs.
Very, very well done. So we're here standing live at this gorgeous infinity pool. Brady mentioned it earlier. I just love the finish out choices, but Brady, walk us through what your keen eye did with really the heart of the home of the backyard.
Yeah, we wanted a pool that felt in scale appropriate with the house. So this is actually much larger than the one that was here previously. Again, it was a curvy oasis resort style pool that did not flow with the new direction of the house we were in. So we went much more simplistic in the geometry of the pool. We wanted this to really almost act like a water feature back here, so that from the many rooms inside the house, you're looking out and just seeing this beautiful water. And then again, considering, the certain kind of plaster color that a pool is in, and how that looks under sunlight and how that looks when it's overcast. And then also the tile that wraps around the top edge of that is the color that gets cast most in the pool. And so we went with something that had a little bit more of a green hue that pulled the similar color of Lake Austin. So much thought went into making this feel harmonious, with the environment that it's in. There's ledges around it. You have a great sun deck. You have a raised jacuzzi over here, and then the beautiful infinity edge to enjoy the lake.
Absolutely gorgeous. So we're here on Lake Austin, Brady, and this is one of the few lots that I've seen where on the other side of the lake, it's all greenbelt. You're not staring at houses, just absolutely one-of-a-kind view, right, all around. And we just took an in-depth look at that beautiful boat dock, but talk to us about something special, which is really hard to get on Lake Austin.
Yeah, so we spent over a year working with the city and with our architects to get permit approval for to redesign a new 2-story boat dock. So that is one of the amazing things that comes with acquiring this home, is that process has already been taken care of. And there's beautiful plans for an incredible multi-slip 2-story boat dock that could go there. It is new. We put new decking on, a new roof on and updated it. But to your point, this is a really unique stretch of the river. It's one of the more quiet, not as crowded parts of the river. And like you said, you're not looking directly at any neighbors across the way, which on the lake is very hard to find with almost 200 feet of flat waterfront.
Yeah, guys, this is for sure a diamond in the rough. All right, so on top of the 4-car oversized garage, which is on the other side of the state, Brady and his team did something very, very special here. We have over 3,000 square feet of just wow. And it really, truly is a blank canvas. Obviously, right now, we're helping you envision it as a car museum, right? Really show off all the toys, even this murdered out BMW behind us. But Brady, walk us through, there was nothing here before originally, correct?
Yes.
And walk us through the vision for this space and all the different aspects, maybe even one of the personal stories you suggested of what this could be used for.
Yeah, so originally this was intended as a car gallery for a collector, which was a really fun thing to discover, talk through, design, how we wanted to enjoy that space. So we designed it enough for 8 cars. We have the integrated showcase lighting, plenty of room that the doors could all open. And he really wanted this to be a place that he could entertain, hang out with friends, which is why we've incorporated a lounge, a wet bar, a powder bathroom. But really, once we got into doing the space, again, thinking about how someone would entertain in a house like this would be an incredible room for any type of an event. A dinner, a fundraiser. This easily functions as a stage. Because we had to add all of the additional plumbing and electrical for this new space. It really could transform into a lot of things. Wellness is so big right now. So we've also talked through a portion of this could be an incredible at-home gym with all of your recovery things like your cryo chambers and your hyperbaric chamber and your sauna and your cold plunge and all of your gym equipment.
So speaking of that, we won't mention names, but there was a very high profile buyer that was interested that flew down, and you came to meet with them personally and talk about the story as you're helping. And it's really one of your unique abilities to help people not only see what's possible, but to paint the picture of the true vision. Walk us through that conversation of how they could utilize the space.
Yeah, and to your point, I think we get so used to the environment that we're in that we stop thinking about ideal. Like how would I ideally want to be in my home? And some people maybe haven't even experienced that before, right? And so finding out what is really important to people and what is heavily integrated into their lives. And this particular client, I knew that fitness definitely was. And so we talked about all the potential for that, and his excitement for the house grew so much because it was just something that he wasn't even seeing past cars, you know? And so that's also why I think it's so important to work with a designer that can help create vision for a lot of people that's just so difficult to see. So yes, the opportunity for what this could be. We've talked with other people that potentially want to operate their own company out of their home and could easily use this or a portion of this for that. So beyond if you're not a car collector, this could be so many incredible things.
Again, my name's Dallas Seeley, founder of the Seeley Group, and we had so much fun today with Brady Mathews taking a deep dive tour of what could have been and what it evolved into. We're talking vision, we're talking legacy here at the masterpiece of Lake Austin. This $20 million estate boasts over 8,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 6 baths, and as you can see, not only do we have one of the most off the charts world-class views behind me, but Brady spared no expense, no detail, no stone left unturned. Brady, what are your final words on this project? And if they want to reach out to you for more details, or if they want help from you and your team, where can they find you?
Yeah, like I said, projects like this are very unique and they're rare, because the amount of time and the investment and with the relationship with the client and what you're creating, but it's so satisfying to transform something that can be such an incredible, intimate space for so many people. I mean, being able to curate and craft the spaces that people spend their most intimate life moments in is such an incredible honor, blessing, joy to do. And me and my team tried to think of every single thing that could make this house be able to evolve as well, right? And so with new owners, there's new preferences, there's different lifestyles, and we really thought through so many things in that regard as well, so that a new owner wanting to make any type of additions, modifications, or changes, we've already thought through a lot of that for them. Again, so that there's some ease in seeing how can this become perfect for me and my needs and my family.
If someone is watching out there in YouTube land and they want to reach out to you, they want your help, how can they find you?
They can find my business on Instagram, which is Sojourn Design House, or they can reach out to me personally, which mine is Brady Mathews.
Brady Mathews, one of the top interior designers, not only in Austin, but the entire country as a whole. Again, my name's Dallas Seeley. If you like what you saw today, click on the like and subscribe button above. We're coming to you live every single week. Again, we've got a off-market $20 million estate, the masterpiece of Lake Austin right here. Brady, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, buddy.
And guys, we'll see you next week.